All right, today we coming to you with another episode of Auto Glass Tech Talk, and we picking up off of a topic that started last week about training, and training led into training, urethane, and moldings. So today we got the homie Joel all the way out in central Wisconsin, and he's gonna hit us with a little molding knowledge, Q&A, and just more information on what all goes into moldings. So before we get going with that, Joel, the floor is yours. Tell us who you are, what company you work with, and what you do.
All right, man. Yeah, like Corey said, my name's Joel. I've been with Precision here, I think just shy of 7 years. I work in sales, and a lot of that is a lot of contact with shops, a lot of guys that are on the page I've talked to personally. When they brought me on, actually, I don't know, Corey, if you know this one, but they brought me on, like I said, 7 years ago to start calling on shops to just extend out and be like, hey, I'm a contact for you. And it was to bridge the gap there. And I mean, it was fun. I had a good time. A guy went everywhere from, man, why are you calling me Click, to, oh, that's awesome, man. I love to hear from you. So, and there wasn't really an in between. It was really one of the two.
Right.
That's
So, yeah, they just wanted me to promote our product and kind of talk to people and make us a little bit more accessible as far as information and all that goes. And so that went pretty well. And then I just kind of moved around and I'm here where I'm at now.
Cool.
Nice.
right on. Welcome. Thanks for coming on, Joel.
Yep. Thanks, Joe.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, so let's start. Let's start at the beginning here. What's the process when you guys are, I guess, starting a new molding, or what's your process to get a shape or make a new molding?
Yeah. So basically what we'll do, we'll kind of research what new vehicles are coming out. We'll take a look. We'll see, is it a Y part? And if it is, obviously we're not going to touch it. It's coming on the glass. We're looking for more opportunities as far as moldings people need to buy separately. So we'll look into that. And then typically we'll get the OEM part and then we'll reverse engineer it from that. So we'll take it, we'll look at any kind of profiles we're looking at, lengths, material, and we'll try to match it up to that. And then sometimes we might make a few changes, as far as material goes. There's some that might work a little bit better. The part where it gets a little bit tricky for us, and I try to explain it, to people, but when you have an OEM part, that part's being installed in a controlled environment where we're talking, Jeff's out there in 180-degree weather. You have people out here in Wisconsin at negative whatever it is, and you have these guys in these warehouses installing one piece of glass, controlled environment. So it's hard to find something to match up exactly, especially when you have guys out there using different glass. They're installing it a little bit differently. The temperatures are different. So, we try to line it up to that, but there's always kind of that little area there where it's hard to line it up for exactly everyone what they need. So we try to get it where we can.
So you guys are like kind of basing it off of like one molding, or you guys buy like a batch of them and go off of there?
Yeah, so we'll buy a few and we'll see if there's kind of a variance in what they're doing.
Okay.
So we'll take a look and go, okay, shoot, all the OEM parts are lining up. This is the dimensions they should be at. And then we'll base it off that. We'll get an exact match for that profile and run it from there.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a long process to get moving, but we try to get it going as quick as we can.
All right. So you brought up the fact of you guys are trying to compensate for weather conditions and climates and working conditions and all that other stuff. So keeping that in mind, do you guys have any tips when it comes to installing your moldings versus saying using an OE molding? I mean, I know I've seen posts in several groups and chat rooms about how moldings would be too long on one edge. And I know there's got to be some kind of variance, with the installer. Are they putting it in right? Because sometimes if you get a cornered molding and you start on one corner and work your way all the way around, you're going to stretch it. Do you guys provide, instructions on how you recommend installing the moldings?
Yeah, so it kind of varies on what molding. There's a few general rules we go by though. If it's a 3/4 molding, like you said, you start at the corners there and you work your way in. If you start on one side, especially with a PVC material, it's going to stretch out and you're going to get to that other side and it's going to be, hanging off an inch on on one side and look perfect on the other, and you're sitting there going, man, what did they just do? So
Okay.
you want to start at the corners. Another thing we come across is on our underside moldings, our tape. A lot of people will tell us, it doesn't stick, but it's a pressure sensitive tape. So you really have to apply some pressure on there to get it to adhere. And then obviously it's just getting the glass cleaned off correctly, priming anything you have to, and just making sure everything's prepped.
I was going to ask you about that. Kind of go into the next part of my question. Do you guys recommend using a double-sided tape promoter? Because I know I do a lot of body shop work, and I know they use a lot of double-sided tape on exterior trims, but they always use a promoter to get it to stick better. Do you guys recommend that? Do you guys sell one? What's your guys' take on that?
We don't sell one. And I'd say if it's something you like using and you have the time to do it, yeah, definitely use whatever you can to make it stick better. It's mostly just cleaning off the surface because I know you're obviously not going to get everyone to use every product that's going to make the job absolutely perfect. But yeah, I mean, if you can and you have it available, yeah, for sure.
So,
Gotcha.
kind of off of that real quick, obviously, you got to clean your glass. We all, got to get your chemicals off and stuff. But if there is like chemicals and stuff at the top, the silicone from the molds and stuff, does that affect the tape sticking on there?
Oh, big time. Yep. Any
Okay.
kind of debris or any kind of residue on there is going to keep it from sticking. Our tapes are designed to stick to, your primers and your glass and whatever you're looking at there. So if you have anything on there to kind of throw it off, it's going to affect it for sure.
Okay.
Gotcha. Cool.
Good
So,
to
And
know.
that kind of goes in hand with try to not to stare away too far, but my wife and I were just having a conversation about yesterday about urethanes and something won't stick right, and they automatically, and it's usually a tech using a new type of urethane, automatically say, "Oh, well, the urethane's junk." Well, are you doing the prep work right? Are you taking every step in the process? So, I mean, if someone's trying to stick a molding with double side tape on a window that's got fingerprints all over it or dust or whatever, I mean, of
yeah.
course, nothing's going to work right. So, that being said, when people complain about the products, when guys talk to you, when they complain, when they give suggestions, does that feedback go somewhere? Is it just, pillow talk to make us feel like we're being, cared about, or do you guys really take that as stuff into consideration?
Man, I mean, I'm not against pillow talk if you want to give me a call, but no, man, we definitely take it. So what we do every week, we take our management team, which is going to be sales, our operations manager, our purchaser, our shipping manager, our quality manager, and we put them into one room, the room I'm in right now, and we throw every complaint that's been logged up there, and we'll break it down. It'll go to R&D is also in there, so R&D will take a look at it, and a lot of times we'll get the glass. And one, I talked to Chris about this one, is it was the 2849.
Oh boy, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? See?
That one's a legendary fuck up.
No, I'm aware, man. So here's what happened. Like I said, we got the glass and we put it on, and we did it, in our shop here, and we were able to get it, and it fit for us. But that's not to say that someone with a different piece of glass that might have been a little bit shorter, or any kind of different thing like that could have came up. So we decided, we have a little bit of wiggle room there, and we actually shortened it up, and that came from one of the complaints on the page. So
Nice.
yeah, but our big thing is every time someone kind of comes out, we'll ask for details, like, what's the lot number, what kind of glass you're using. A lot of people are sitting there going, man, just fix it.
Right.
I don't know I need to give you this. But the
Right.
problem is if we're looking at and we try it on a piece of glass and it fits perfect, and then it turns out that other piece of glass is coming up short, yeah, our molding's definitely going to be long.
Okay, so what exactly do you need from the field techs to alleviate problems? So instead of someone just going on a group or whatever and saying, "Oh, precision sucks," like what exactly do you need? Do you need like a picture of the tag number from the package plus what piece of glass we're using? Like what all information would be helpful to you guys then?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, ideally, it would be a photo of the part. Let's say it's too long on the top. You snap that and you go, hey, I have this much coming off of it. This is a problem I'm having. Take a picture of the bug there, showing what glass you're using, and then the label from our bag. And then you can just come to, me or someone else at the company and go, Joel, here's the deal. Here's the glass. Here's the molding. Here's my problem. and then we take all that and then we'll run it through that way.
Cool.
So
Okay.
mostly, and we'll take that tag and we'll pull the lot number from it because we control, when everything was made and we track everything. So we'll know, shoot, that's who did this. This is when we ran it. We'll pull that same lot from the shelf and we'll look at it and we'll go from there. So that kind of, when we get vague kind of complaints and they're just, hey, this doesn't work,
Right.
it's kind of hard to work with that one. So
It's
Yeah.
like the Yelper who just says the food sucks. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like,
What
we
about
need-
it?
we need
Yeah.
more details. What's going on?
Right. All right. So,
Yep.
so Joel, I got a question for you here, man.
yeah.
So you guys cover glass, like, and in the glass industry, but what markets do you cross over in? Is it just all auto glass, or do you guys do other things?
Yeah, no, man. So obviously we're definitely doing auto glass, and that's going to cover, your moldings, your rain sensor pads, your clips. But we also crossed over into other things. We got into agriculture. So a lot of the guys out there doing heavy machinery,
Mm-hmm.
we have just
Okay.
about every seal to wrap off a John Deere Soundguard cab.
Okay.
So we're talking all the seals for that, and there's a ton of them on there. We're into the Case IH stuff. We have some of the skid steer stuff. I mean, we got pretty good into that as well. So if a lot of the guys are not wanting to make their own out of Universal, we have the direct fit stuff for it.
Okay.
Well,
Nice.
so those are the fit for that type, fit for that vehicle molding
Yep,
for,
yep.
even for the agriculture side on that stuff, the John Deere's and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know if any of you guys have personally worked on it, but if you go to a dealer and buy that OEM stuff, they charge a lot of money and the quality isn't what you
Oh
think
yeah,
it
that
should
stuff's
be.
expensive. I've done a couple. Shout out to Mike Stevens and Matt Cochran, and Jay Lee, our agriculture guys out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We had one and we were putting out the part and I had a customer come to me and go, "Hey, none of this stuff fitting." And we pulled the OEM and we pulled ours and we went, "Man, it's matching up exactly." And he goes, I call him back and go, "Man, everything lines up." And he just looks, or he's on the phone and goes, "Yeah, well, the OEM didn't fit either." So I'm here going, "All right, well, that would have been good to know out the gate, but that's cool."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow. So, speaking of jumping into agriculture, do you guys have any other new products or something that you're working on, maybe?
Yeah, man. Along with that, so we're also working on, a lot of cow lens seals, and that's something we've jumped into because as the market moves to underside moldings and even, with things like the Explorer side moldings, we had a bunch of those we pushed out,
Yep.
but now they're switching those up, so those aren't going to be the same as they were before. So we're looking for different options. We've moved over to cow lens seals, which have been really good. We started off originally with the Ford ones there, just those flimsy rubber ones and the push pins that go with them.
F-150 style, yeah.
Yep. We
Okay.
moved to those. We moved into the Chevy trucks there, those big corner pieces.
Okay.
We moved on to some Subaru stuff. So we keep kind of putting those out and then clips.
I just used
So
your
that's-
Subaru. I just used your Subaru corners for the 3741 like 2 days ago, and they fit
Yep.
perfect. So
Nice.
little vote of
Perfect.
confidence. Now, hey, I got a question about the classic stuff. So I know you guys do a lot of the classic GM, but are you guys doing classic Ford, Mustangs, and things like that also?
Yeah. Yep. So we cover quite a bit. Like you said, we go back Chevy and GM trucks, we go to 47, Ford trucks, we go to 48. And then we're kind of all through there as far as passenger cars go. We're going to be carrying a lot of stuff for like older Chevelles and the Tri-5 stuff. And so it's kind of all over the map. It depends what you're looking for. Obviously, we can't make everything because that's a wide range there.
All right.
But we cover a lot of it.
Are you guys on the 1980s square body Chevys? Are you guys getting the door seals and the glass runs and all that stuff also? I mean, you may already have it out there. I'm not 100% sure. Just wondering.
Absolutely everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we even have complete kits. So if you're doing a full restoration on that, we're gonna have the windshield gasket, vent seals, glass run channels, belt lines, door seal, back
Nice.
glass gasket. I mean, everything to seal that thing off.
Yeah, you remember
Nice.
we did the Braptor with Rebuilding Generations, and they had sent like a huge master kit for everything on
Yeah,
that.
with the door seals and everything in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was all of it too. That was a big one.
So you said a lot
Nice.
here, Joel, on things that y'all do and offer. And I remember like back in the day that you guys used to have like that big book with like molding numbers and shit in it. But it seemed like y'all have got a lot going on since then from the book that people found very valuable. What name some more things that set you guys apart from other molding companies?
Yeah. So, like you said, we had that big book, and then we brought on our pocket guides that people would throw in a van.
Mm-hmm.
But our problem is every time we'd come out with a new part or a list price would change, we have people trying to turn in claims, and insurance companies are going, man, that's not the list price because ours was expired at that point. And we tried to put one out every year, but it just wasn't quick enough.
It's hard to
So
keep
we
up
went
with.
ahead. Yeah, we went ahead and redid our whole website, made it mobile friendly, and you can
Okay.
go on there. You can search by year, make, model. You can search by nags. You can search by keyword. I'll be at a show and someone goes, do you have this part? I'll pull it up on my phone in about 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep that tab. That's one of the tabs I have on my browser. The precision tab is one of them, just so I can, migrant doesn't have the molding or one of the vendors doesn't have the molding or something, and I can't see it with the window. I'm jumping on there, type it in real quick. All right, there is one available.
Cool.
Yep.
For
So,
those that don't know, drop the website name for people that don't know.
yeah, I mean, we kept it easy, just prp.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. And the good thing about that, so it'll show all of our moldings, all of our clips. If we have a cowl lens seal for it, it'll show it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep,
you'll be
yep.
able to
It's
list
got pictures
price.
on there too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So are
Yep.
your videos and stuff on are y'all on YouTube or are the videos on the website, or how do you find like some of those training or instructional videos?
Yeah. So on a lot of our restoration parts, let's say it's an older gasket,
Mm-hmm.
we'll have a printable PDF.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right there for everybody to see it.
We'll have a printable PDF of instructions. We'll have people, man, this gasket's not fitting. I put it on the glass and then I put it in. Man, that goes on the body first, or you have to do this, or that has to be done. So a lot of the time it's hard. You'll get them on the phone and kind of walk them through it, and then they'll go, oh shoot, well, let me go try that. You know what? Let me send you over this PDF, or I'll give you the link to the page,
Mm-hmm.
and they have it ready to go. And then we also have a link to our YouTube channel, which
Okay.
has our R&D department installing a ton of these parts.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, we try to put out information to help people, install the parts, because a lot of it, you guys know, on those old gasket sets are tricky. I mean, they're
Yeah. I normally use the PRP for the 654s, the Mustangs and stuff. And I had an off-brand one, and man, the fucking corner in it I could not get it to sit straight. It was driving me nuts.
See, and then I just did that at 654 Mustang a couple weeks ago, and I used a PRP gasket, and it fell right in. So
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah, normally the steel and the PRPs are my go-tos on it, but you gotta order that, and yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
I'm
Sean
okay
Dean. I
with
saw
that.
Sean Dean do a Mustang yesterday. He posted a photo. It was a nice Mustang too.
Oh yeah, that maroon one.
Yeah. So yeah, so
Yeah.
let's switch gears up a little bit here, y'all. With it being Memorial Day weekend, we got to talk barbecue because that's what most people do during Memorial Day. So first, Joe, do you do barbecue? Do you eat barbecue Memorial Day weekend, or do you have like a different tradition?
Corey, man, do you see how big I am? Of course they do.
Well, some people stay away from the barbecue Memorial Day weekend. So with that being said, we'll start with you, Joe. What's your dish you're looking forward to for Memorial Day weekend, or what's your favorite Memorial Day barbecue dish?
Man, if it's Memorial Day, I feel like you got to go ribs. They're
Ribs,
a
huh?
mess. You're outside, you're throwing them on, you put too much barbecue sauce on them, you call it a day. You go there, you can throw some hot dogs or burgers on, but pretty simple.
All right.
I love myself a good steak, but
Yeah,
if
you
you
going?
have people over, you're not going to be sitting there grilling them steaks the whole time.
There you
I have
go.
a cooler full that I need to get to.
There you go.
That's right.
So what about you, Drift? What are you looking for barbecue wise for Memorial Day weekend?
I forgot it was Memorial Day weekend, but now that you say Memorial Day weekend, like the first thing that came to mind, was can't think of the name of it now. Wow. The potatoes and with the mayonnaise and the potatoes and everything.
Potato salad.
Like
Potato salad.
Like a potato salad and a macaroni salad, like cold,
Okay.
just and some ribs. Yes,
All right.
that's just kind of.
All right. So ribs and potato salad. What about you, Jeff? What's your barbecue dish for Memorial Day weekend?
You know what's funny is traditionally wise, we don't really barbecue on Memorial Day. We're usually at the beach doing something like that.
Yeah.
But with all this pandemic bullshit going on, that ain't happening.
Right.
But we're actually probably gonna do some carne asada or something like that because we're going to Cynthia's family's house
Okay.
over in Indio, California, and I know we'll be just probably throwing some carne asada on the grill, make it nice and simple.
Yeah. I'm feeling y'all, Joel and Drift. I'm like ribs. So we look forward to ribs, baked beans, coleslaw. So we do more coleslaw than potato salad in the South. So they have a little bit of both, but even they do the deviled eggs. So shit.
We gotta have some cold watermelon too, man. It's the start of summertime, man.
Yeah, so like in the South,
like watermelon.
Yeah, the Memorial Day weekend be like we starting out for swimming pools opening, barbecues. So I'm sure not a lot of that shit not happening, but barbecue ribs, coleslaw, some watermelon or any
They're
of that.
actually opening the pools in Arizona.
Oh, they are. Oh,
yeah,
that's what's up.
The gyms are open, pools are open, so
cool. So how things working out in Wisconsin, Joe? Things opening up, or how y'all holding up out there during this whole situation?
Yeah, they're opening stuff up. I mean, they're keeping everyone spaced. For anyone around the Midwest, they know bars are a big thing around here.
All right.
I mean, you go about every block, you run into about 1 to 3 of them.
Okay.
I mean, they're everywhere. So they're opening up. A lot of different other places are requiring masks. Not too many, though. We're limiting it pretty good.
Yeah.
They're canceling stuff. I know softball, all the leagues for, the rec leagues just got canceled. So it's kind of a little bit of a disappointment, but you get past it.
So what position you play in softball? Oh, never mind. Go, Jeff.
No, I got a question for you, Joe. Being from Wisconsin, what's your beer?
Man, so here's the deal. I moved to Wisconsin 3 years ago.
Okay.
But that's a tricky one. I normally go with an IPA or something a little bit heavier, but I'm not above opening a bush. You know what I mean?
Oh, there we go.
If it's a hot day, I'm okay with that.
All right. Just had to ask that. You know what I mean? I got some buddies from Madison, and they're the connoisseurs of the beer. So.
Yeah, is that what are they going with Miller Lite out there?
Yeah, that's what the baseball beer. You got to go with Miller, but I mean, I personally like Linnenkrugels, and that that's a Wisconsin staple. I love that. That summer shandy, that's a go-to for sure in the summertime.
It's gonna, one we have, and they won't sell it anywhere but Wisconsin, is a Spotted Cow.
Spotted Cow.
So anyone from Wisconsin or Minneapolis or anywhere around over in there. They'll know what Spotted Cow is, and if you don't live in Wisconsin, usually your opinion is that's just total garbage, unless you live here and you love it. So
nice.
Cool. So another question for you, Joel. So have you fell into the whole cheese curd thing and the Wisconsin cheese curd trend? Do you like that?
Man, you don't need to fall into it. They're the best, man. They're good. I mean, I'd never had them before I moved here, and everyone's like, oh, it's just like a mozzarella stick. No, they're not. Oh, they are so much better.
Someone was saying cheese curds. Was it Marissa said?
Yeah,
cheese
Marissa.
Curds?
Yeah, Canada. Yeah.
What was that with? Was that the Caesar?
The poutine. That was on the poutine.
Oh, the poutine.
Yeah.
The poutine. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at him. He's got the gravy sweats already.
Man, here's the thing about that, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit. I've been up to Canada where they'll talk about how good their poutine is, and yeah, it's good. But then they talk about how great their cheese curds are. They're not Wisconsin cheese curds, man.
Oh, damn.
We have the world's happiest cows out here.
Hey, Corey and Chris, do you guys have Culvers in your areas?
Yeah, it's a Culvers out here, yeah.
Yeah, Culvers. Okay, I got Culvers out here, and they're. I mean, from what I heard, that's real Wisconsin cheese curds, and if they're real Wisconsin cheese curds, them things they're not. Oh, shaking his head. No, they're the fakers.
Yeah, they decent hamburger. They're decent hamburgers, joint, but they cheese curds. I've been told that they not the greatest, but hey, they all right. They all right.
I got, so I'll live with that.
Yeah, they all right to me.
Man, I feel like I need to send you guys out some cheese curds, like the actual squeaky cheese, and you guys can deep fry it if you want. But
oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm down. I'll hit it on the griddle.
So when are we having the Tech Talk meetup in Green Bay? When are we gonna do that?
Man, I think that'd be a good time. We're only about an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
There we go. Cheese curds and beer.
So we'll get you one last question before we get you out of here, Joel. Have you converted from a Seahawks fan to a Packers fan, or?
I sure did, man. I sure did.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I know there's certain people Jeff Martineau, if you watch this, man, sorry, it happened. But yeah, no, I definitely switched over. It's hard not to. You know, I've been out to Lambeau a few times.
Yeah.
And my first one, I went to a season opener against the Seahawks there, and I come in all my, blue and green, and I'm sitting there expecting fans to be yelling at me and, just being totally obscene.
Right.
Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, man, you enjoying the game? Sure is nice out here."
Oh,
Yeah, I
geez.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, come wear that Seahawks stuff in Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll stick to the green and gold now.
Yeah, Green Bay got pretty nice fans, and they don't really get too. I guess some of them do get worked up, but majority of them don't get worked up. So they do have some of the nicest and low key, just down to earth fans. They not like Philly fans or probably like Arizona Cardinal fans or
Raiders.
Raiders fans.
See,
So,
Cardinals fans, we get a bad rap. It's because we get all the California teams over here talking shit all the time. So we get
Yeah.
the Frisco fans, and we get the Ram fans, and we get the Seahawk fans talking shit. So we gotta, talk a little louder. That's all.
yeah, that's what's up. Well, Joe, we appreciate you for your time, blessing us with all this knowledge on the moldings and helping us understand it a little bit better. And I'm sure it's been helpful for other people. So if anyone have any questions or concerns about the moldings or something Joel said, drop a comment below. Or like he said, they got an R&D department, send them a message, but don't be vague. So
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know. I mean, you guys can find me on Facebook there. Shoot me a message. I'll reach out to you. If anyone has an issue, you want to talk later in the day when you're done working and, everything's put away, let me know. I'll give you a call.
Cool.
That's true. Joe's been very, very approachable. I've had several conversations with him on the phone. So
Yeah, cool.
I can attest to that.
Cool.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, appreciate you, Joel. And until next time, everybody take care.